Hello everyone, this is Anirudh sir and I welcome you everyone to my channel The Civil Guruji. And in this video, how are you? First of all, let me know. In this particular video, I'm going to talk about, first of all, I will analyze the syllabus of general aptitude, and I will also give you the full solution with explanation of all the questions given by IIT Bombay as the model questions for general aptitude section this year, because as you all know that IIT Bombay is setting up the question paper this year. So stay tuned and watch the video till the end. Hope you will definitely enjoy it. Stay tuned. Starting with the syllabus, first of all, let me know in the comment section how are you and how are you feeling right now. What's your preparation status currently, and have you watched my last 4 months preparation strategy video or not? Let me know in the comment section. So starting with the syllabus which is given, I will talk about one section, the elements in it, what you have to read and what you have to focus on mainly. Followed by that, I will also solve the questions given by IIT Bombay as the model questions for general aptitude. Starting with the verbal aptitude, in which basic English grammar, tenses, prepositions, adjective, conjunctions, verb, noun, agreement, and other parts of speech may be asked, right? And also basic vocabularies can also be tested. The meaning of any word, the meaning of any idioms, phrases, and also they can give you directly, say, any meaning of any particular word. They have given such, say, word pandemonium. They have created such a pandemonium. He turned euphoric. Something like that. In just sentence, in a particular sentence, they can also give you the word, and from that context, they can ask you basically the corresponding meanings. I will give you, just wait for some time, I will give you the model question solutions. After that, reading and comprehension, that's a very important part that can also come. Let's check out the model questions. The first question, as you can see on the screen, is out of the following 4 sentences, select the most suitable sentence with respect to grammar and usage. So in the first sentence, as you can directly see, in the first 2 sentences, they are saying, I will not leave the place until the minister doesn't meet me. Yeah, if it does not meet me, whatever. So in this particular sentence, what is the problem? The problem is actually in the first 2 sentences, in this particular word until, already this not is included. For example, if I say or convert or translate this sentence in Hindi, तो ये होता है क्या कि मैं ये जगह तब तक नहीं छोड़ूंगा जब तक मैं मिनिस्टर से मिल ना लूं, ठीक है? और जब तक मैं मिनिस्टर से मिल लूं तब तक मैं ये जगह नहीं छोड़ूंगा. तो दैट नहीं छोड़ूंगा, दैट पर्टिकुलर थिंग इज ऑलरेडी इंक्लूडेड इन दैट प्लेस. आई विल नॉट लीव द प्लेस until the minister meets me. थर्ड सेंटेंस भी और ऑलमोस्ट करेक्ट ही लग रहा था. I will not leave the place until the minister meet me लिख दिया, देखो. So it's a minister third person singular number. So I will not leave the place until the minister meets me. So option D is correct. Question number 2, the second model question. Please like this video, share this video with everyone so that everyone can enjoy this model session. Then they have said that Indian currency notes show the denomination indicated in at least 17 languages. If this is not an indication of the nature's diversity, nothing else is. Which of the following can be logically inferred from the above sentences? First of all, they are saying India is a country of exactly 17 languages. Where is it made? Where is it taught in this particular sentence? They have just told that, okay, fine, at least 17 languages. You have seen, at least, okay. So that is exactly is wrong. Second, they have seen linguistic pluralism is the only indicator of a nation's diversity. It's not like that. That there are many other diversities. Just think about that. Food habits, culture, weather, everything is different. That's the unity of diversity, the spirit of the nation. So that also we know from the common sense, and also in this particular two sentences, the small paragraph, it's clearly being visible. Indian currency notes have sufficient space. ये तो बकवास है. ठीक है. The last one, India linguistic pluralism is strong evidence of India's diversity. जी बिल्कुल. यही बात यहाँ पे बताने के लिए बोला. हम बोलते हैं ना, अगर ये नहीं है तो क्या है? That doesn't mean कि ये नहीं है तो मतलब कुछ नहीं है. It's just a way of speaking. Right. Third question from English. The unruly crowd demanded that the accused be. So there can be confusions, like because they have seen accused be. So जब भी एक be होता है, आप लोग जानते हो ऐसे बोलते हैं, accused be hanged till death. Hanged, right? So hanged is the correct word over here without trial. Hanged is the correct word. The unruly crowd demanded the accused to be hanged without trial. Next sentence, Archimedes said, give me a lever long enough and a fulcrum on which to place it and I will move the worlds. So sentence is an example of, it's a very simple, there are 4 options given. Out of that, the first 3 I know, the last one even I don't know वो क्या बोलना चाह रहे थे. But figurative sentence is a sentence in which we particularly try to explain anything in terms of the other. We don't literally mean that. देखो एक literal option भी है ना, वो नहीं. For example, यहाँ पे वो बोल रहे हैं कि give me a long lever actually and a fulcrum on which to place it. I will move the world. Definitely he's not going to move the world. ओके, ये लिटरल मीनिंग नहीं है. वो बस बोल रहे कि आप मुझे एक लीवर और फलक्रम दे दो, मैं दुनिया घुमा के दिखा दूंगा आपको. मतलब क्या, he just wanted to mean that this lever and fulcrum has enough potential in the field of knowledge, and it has immense potential to solve all the problems in the world. This related mechanical problems related. That's what it meant actually. पर यहाँ पे क्या है कि this is not possible, right? Literally. तो इस type of sentence में होता है क्या? Figurative sentence इसको कहते हैं, right? Other examples of figurative sentence you can see over here so that you can get a fair idea about what is figurative sentence. तो बात करते हैं दोस्त, अगला जो section है, the next section, which is a very important section, that is quantitative aptitude, which is the largest section as well as far as GATE aptitude, general aptitude is concerned. And you know that 15 out of 15 is possible in this particular section, and I want everybody to achieve this 15 out of 15 and at least 10 out of 13, so that you get at least 25 out of the 28, so that you already are in a better position. If you want to score 75, just you have to score 50 out of the rest of the 72 or something like that. So here maximum to maximum score करना possible है दोस्त आपसे. Try to keep in mind, right? Quantitative aptitude, the first thing comes is data interpretation. That is from the data graphs, bar graphs, pie charts, and the different representations actually. And numerical computation and estimation तो आएगा बेटा, ratios, percentages, power, logarithms, right? Permutation, combination, sometimes series or some data are given, some numbers are given. What is the next number going to be? Something like that, right? Then mensuration and geometry, simple mensuration will be there. Like what is like surface area, volume of the common 2D and 3D objects you have to keep in mind. And also elementary statistics and probability, you have to also know about these things. Probability, that is the laws of probability, something like that. That what is it, P of A intersection B or P of A union B, what it is, something like that. If they are mutually exclusive events, if they are mutually exhaustive events, what does this mean basically? You have to know this kind of things, and basic and elementary statistics also you have to know, and probability. All the statistics you will learn in a detailed manner in the math syllabus, in which you have to this time learn Gaussian, that is normal distribution, as well as exponential distribution, binomial distribution, all these things, right? Next, coming to analytical. So let's now talk about the questions that can be given from it. The first question you can see on the screen. They're saying that there are 3 panels basically, panel A, B, C. In the first one, bar graphs are given. In the second and third one, you can see pie charts kind of are given. So the panel A shows the proportion of the male and female illiterates in 2001 and 2011, the proportions of the males and females. Okay. Given the total population, this is an important sentence. They have told the total population did not change during this period. The percentage increase in the total number of literates from 2001 to 2011. लिटरेसी जो है वो कितना बढ़ चुका है, लेट्स सी. तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लेट्स जस्ट प्लॉट द डेटास. First of all, you assume, for example, that there are total 100 students, 100 people over there. There is no problem in assuming it. You just assume that there are total 100 people. Okay. Let's now talk about the scenario of 2001. Let's now talk about the scenario of 2001. 2001 की जो scenario है उसके बारे में बात करते हैं. चलो देखते हैं. In 2001, if I talk about the male ratio, you can see male percentage was 60, alright, and the female percentage was 40. Fine. And out of these male percentages, you can again see that this is the case of 2001. Okay. Okay, fine. So out of this male, actually, you can find out that the literacy rate is 50%. So the first from graph panel 1, you can see that the illiterate number of illiterate women, actually, illiterate men is 50%, right, in 2001. So out of this 60, 50% of 60 means 30 are illiterate and rest of the 30 are, that means literate, right? Got my point, everybody? Similarly, if I talk about this 40, 40 females, you can see from the panel A once again that in 2001, the illiteracy rate of female is 60%. That means 40 ka 60% was illiterate, right? So that is 24 was illiterate. That means literacy was 16. 16 were literate, right? Now, similarly, if I talk about the situation in 2011, the same things we are gonna look at, male, female. So here, the scenario changed. The percentage have become equal, 50. This is also 50. This is also 50, right? Okay, fine. So यहाँ पे आप देख पा रहे हो कि out of this 50, illiterate is 40% of the males. Illiterates 40% of the males. That means 20 people. 50 ka 40%, that is 20 people is illiterate. And literate is definitely 50 minus 20, that is 30. Okay, similarly, if I talk about female, female has also the same. Okay, that's a nice thing. Female has also the same, koi jhagda wagda nahi hoga, illiteracy rate, that is 40%. So 50 ka 40% illiterate, that is 20. Literacy is, that means 30 people are literate. Okay, so in this occasion, if you just compare, in 2001, how many people total are literate? 30 plus 16, that means 46. And in 2011, the number changed to 60, of course, increased to 60. And they have mentioned you one thing. How can you do this? They have mentioned you one thing in the question, that is the total population did not change during this period. So that means from 2001 also this 100, this 2011 also it's 100. So what is the percentage of increase in the literate people number? So it's very simple. Percentage increase is 60 minus 46 upon 46 into 100%. So if you just check, you will get the answer around 30.43%. Okay, which is option A. I hope everybody has understood the problem. Please comment if you are not understanding it, or just rewind the video to see it once again, तो आपको बिल्कुल समझ में आ जाएगा. Moving over to the next problem. This is also a problem based on quantitative aptitude. Let's read the question. So you can see the question on the screen. They have told that if PQR is not equal to 0 and P to the power something, and these are given actually, what is the value of the product XYZ? So what is the value of the product XYZ? And 4 options are given. So let's find out what is the value. So this problem can be solved in many techniques actually. One of the techniques that I personally follow in case of this exponents and powers and something like that, whenever this kind of things given, I just convert it into log corresponding. So it makes the things appear very easy to me personally. There can be other techniques, and there are other techniques to solve this problem. You can of course apply those as well. So they have told here that p to the power minus x is equal to 1 by q. Similarly, q to the power minus y is equal to 1 by r, and r to the power minus z is equal to 1 by p. So I'm just showing you one example. Rest will be kind of same. If I take log of both sides over here, what will happen? This exponent will come here minus log of p, and this is log of a by b kind of format. It is there, right? Log of a by b. You know what is log of a by b? Log of a minus log of b, right? So in this occasion, it will be log of 1 minus log of q, and log of 1 is what? 0, right? So that means log of 1 minus log of q means basically minus log q. Understood this point? This is minus log q. Got my point, everybody? Minus log xp. This log 1 minus log q. So it's minus log q. Okay. So it gets cancelled. So x in this way you can find log q by log p. Exactly similar way you can get also from here. Let me just change the marker color. Just tell me over here, what is the value of y that is going to come from this relationship? क्या आने वाला है आप ये बताओ मुझे. Here it was q, this q came up followed by this thing base. So it's log of r by log of q. Log of r by log of q. Okay. Similarly, if I talk about this one, so it is z that is equal to log of p by log of r. Got it? Similar, absolutely similar. You just put log on both sides and cancel the negative signs. Nothing else is required. Z is equal to log p by log r. Okay. So now you just see, you just multiply x into y into z. So you will get, it's very easy. Log of q by log of p into log of r by log of q into log of p by log of r. So everything is getting cancelled out. So it's 1. X into y into z is equal to 1. I think everybody has understood what I'm trying to say. So I think you have got it, that how x, y, z is becoming 1. Clear? Fine. Coming to the next problem. This is also a problem based on this quantitative aptitude, and it's a permutation combination problem. They have told that an email password must contain 3 characters. The password has to contain one numerical from 0 to 9, one numeral, one uppercase and one lowercase character from the English alphabet. How many distinct passwords are possible? Okay, so let's see. So the point is like this actually, that an email password is there which has say 3 places to cover, right? So it's 1, 2, 3. Fine. I normally solve these problems in this way. I love to solve these problems in this way. Any problem like, which contains characters, number, or multiple places are there, I used to solve in this way. I hope you will like the approach. So let's consider that the first place, is being occupied by any numeral. So in how many ways the first place can be occupied? 0 to 9, if we include both 0 and 9, so it's going to be what? 10 total possibilities are there, right? 0 to 9. I'm not sure that the first place is going to be filled up by the numerals or not. We'll take care of that. Second, say any small case, any lowercase number is there, any lowercase number. So any lowercase number means say how many ways it can be filled. Any lowercase number means what? 26 total numbers are there, total. Any lowercase alphabets, or in lowercase alphabets mean 26 alphabets are there, A to Z. Any lowercase, so it's 26. Okay. and also this is also going to be 26 because these two are different. This is lowercase, this is uppercase. So for lowercase also there are 26 options available, and for the uppercase also there are 26 options available, and all these things need to happen simultaneously. सबको साथ में होना ही होगा, इसलिए यहाँ पे मल्टीप्लाई लगाया हूं. मल्टीप्लीकेशन का मतलब है एंड, मतलब सब कुछ साथ में हो रहा है. और अगर मैं बात करूं मतलब ये भी चलेगा या फिर वो भी चलेगा, तब मैं प्लस देता. समझ में आ रहा है? यहाँ पे केस है एंड का, क्योंकि सबको ही होना है, तीनों ही पॉसिबिलिटी को होना, तभी तो पासवर्ड बनेगा, नहीं तो नहीं बनेगा, राइट? So 10 into 26 into 26, fine. So this is coming as 26 into 26, that's 6760, right? I will also, say about some of the multiplication tricks and stuff, jitna mujhe aata hai, and that I will share with you in the next video. Do you want it quick, multiplication tricks or not? Please let me know in the comment section, right? 6760, 10 into 26 into 26. Now the probability is that the point is that it's not always fixed, right? That numeral will be at the first position, then followed by that a lowercase, then an uppercase. It's not like that, right? So they can arrange themselves in how many ways? They can arrange themselves in 3 factorial ways. There are 3 distinct numbers. They can arrange themselves in 3 factorial ways, right? Getting my point? Or you can say 3p3. एक ही बात है. So 3 factorial ways they can arrange themselves. And for each of those combination of the letters, we are getting this many number of possible results. For each of the arrangement. For each of the 3 factorial arrangements. Suppose, it's numeral, it's smaller case, it's lower case, it's uppercase. These 3 can be arranged among itself. So for this arrangement, it's 6760. So next is say LUN. U means uppercase, L means lowercase, N means numeral. For this also 6760. So in this way, you can see NUL, these 3 numbers, these 3 things actually can arrange among themselves in 6 ways. In 3 factorial, that is 3 factorial means 3 into 2 into 1, that is 6 ways. So for each of the ways, we are getting this many number of possibilities, right? So total number of possibilities possible, कितना number of passwords जो कि combination है possible से, चलिए देखते हैं. So it's very simple, 6760 into 3 factorial. So you are going to get, please check the answers. So you are going to get 40,560, which is option number, I guess, C, right? So I hope you have understood the problem well कि कैसे हम किए इसको. I hope. And if you are not understanding, please rewind the video once again. I think you will be able to understand. Or still you are not understanding, please comment करके मुझे बताइए. And also join my Telegram channel in which I upload all my videos, concepts videos on different topics of civil engineering from the Grid Up, the India's largest live learning platform where I normally take the lectures. तो सारे वीडियो आपको वहां पे मिल जाएगा, राइट? इन माय टेलीग्राम चैनल, डिस्क्रिप्शन इज गिवन इन द लिंक एंड दिस इज द नेम यू कैन सी. ओके फाइन, चलो कमिंग टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. So this is also a part of quantitative aptitude because the last part I have told that it's also includes mensuration and geometry, right? So they are saying the area of a square is D. What is the area of the circle which has the diagonal of the square as its diameter? तो चलिए देखते हैं. They have said the area of the square is D. It's not D square or something fancy they have told about, right? So the area of a square, if it is D, then if the sides are say A, I don't know what is the sides. So you can say one thing, that A square is equal to D. That means you can say A is equal to root over D. Chalega? Achha. Next thing is, you know what is the diagonal, the length of the diagonal of a circle, of a क्या बोलते इसको, square. You know this. Even if you don't know, you can calculate it. This is say the diagonal. Okay, if this is A, this is A, these are 90 degree. So you can definitely get what is the length of the diagonal, alright? So that is equal to A square plus A square. So that is equal to root over 2A. Now A is root over 2D. So it's root over 2d. This is the diagonal. And they are saying in the question, you can see that the area of the circle which has the diagonal of the square as its diameter. That means this is equal to also the diameter of the circle, right? So what is the area of the circle? So you know, area of the circle. So this is a circle, you can see this has a diameter of this root over 2d. Understanding? So area of the circle is what? Pi by 4 into diameter square. So it's pi by 4 into this square. Root over, तो बस root over हट जाएगा. It's 2d. So it's half into pi into d. I hope you have got it. Half into pi into d. यहाँ पे दिखा दूँ. So it's pi by 4 into diameter square. Diameter we have already got 2d. So it's half into pi into d. Right, got it. So this is option A, I guess. No, it's option D, I guess. Yeah. So be careful, regarding the options. Half into pi into d. So let's move over to the last section. No, not the last section actually. The other sections. Let's again move to the English section once again, because I have left one thing over there, that is paragraph reading, right? So from there, they have also given, IIT Bombay has given some sample questions. Let's check out those things. Question number 9. You can read, you can just pause the video for 1 second and read the passage completely. Now, some options are given. They're saying that 2 statements are given. First statement is given: the author believes that computers are not good for us. And second, mobile computers and the internet are both intended inventions. Okay. So, first option is absolutely wrong. The author believes that computers are not good for us. It is nowhere mentioned in the full paragraph. And the second thing is, mobile computers and internet are both intended inventions. You can see one line: many believe that the internet itself is an unintended consequence of the original invention. So of course this thing is also wrong. So option D is correct, neither 1 nor 2. Okay, I think you can read the paragraph after pausing the video and you will definitely be able to answer it. Second, in this regard, so the second question is: some students were not involved in a strike. If the above statement is true, which of the following conclusions is all logically necessary? So here also be careful that what is asked, which of the following conclusion is necessary or is not necessary, something like that. So be careful regarding that. So the first option they have given: some who were involved in the strikes were students. This may be the options. Right? But let's look at the second and third. No students was involved in the strike. कहाँ पे लिखा है वो? ये चीज. At least one student is involved in the strike. Meaningless, nowhere it can be inferred from these 2 sentences which are given above. From the sentence which is given above, some students were not involved in the strike, right? So it could have been a possibility that 1 and 4, but the 4 is really definite. But that is actually mentioned in the question statement, that some who were not involved in the strike were students. Some students were not involved in the strike. That means some who were involved in the strike were students. It's also not directly mentioned. It can be inferred, but unfortunately there is no option out of A, B, C and D which includes both 1 and 4. So the only definite option that comes out, because बीच का जो 2 option है 2 and 3 वो तो बकवास है, कोई मतलब फालतू है वो. So option number C is correct. I think you have got it right. Moving over to the next section, that is analytical aptitude, in which you can like this question which I have told you, that is logic, deduction and induction, something like that. So this kind of things, this is also a part of, you can say, comprehensive reading also, and also this is a part of the analytical aptitude, because some things are given, some paragraphs are given, you have to analytically analyze it and deduce the logic, that whether it's correct or not or something like that. It's a matter of practice. So English language is necessary, right? You can see me overseas. The last thing is spatial aptitude, which includes transformation of shapes. Suppose, there is a paper. I will do the problems which are given by IIT Bombay, which is just cut, which is fold, any mirror image of any particular image, what it can be. 4 options are given, something like that. So these things definitely. And I will also give you a particular trick about mirror image related problems. Hope you will like it. So stay tuned. So the problem that IIT Bombay have given as the model problem for special aptitude is as on the screen. They have told a rectangular sheet of length 6 cm and breadth 4 cm is coiled to form an open cylinder. Okay, fine. Says that the breadth sides meet. That means the 4 cm sides are meeting. I will show you what's the thing happening. Can also be coiled to form a cylinder such that the length sides meet. Okay. Which one of the following statements is false? So the false statement they wanted to know. Okay, fine. So you can see I'm just going here. So you can see it better. There are 2 cases which are given. The first case is saying that the breadth sides are meeting. So you're just folding it like this. आप इसको ऐसे fold कर रहे हो, right? You're just folding it like this. आप यहाँ से पकड़ रहे हो इसको and you are just folding it like that to make it like this. Okay. So you are watching, if you are just folding it like this, just take a piece of paper, fold it yourself, you will find the thing. So this particular height of the cylinder or length, whatever you say, it is 4. And you can say one more thing, that this perimeter of this circle, what is that? That is nothing but because this side is getting folded, right? This particular side is getting folded to form this perimeter, that is your 6. Got my point? Fine. Just similarly, if you just take this side and just fold it, यहाँ पे जैसे आप कर रहे हो, so this particular side, this particular length, that will be 6. That will be what? 6, right? So, and this particular lengths are going to be 4. So this perimeter of this circle, that will be 4. Got my point? The perimeter. Okay. Now the 4 options we will study, the 4 options which are given. First of all, surface area of the open cylinders P and Q are equal. Open cylinder means that there are no closed lids. Okay, it's open. So that means surface area means only the curved surface area. So what is going to be the curved surface area of this? The perimeter into length. So perimeter is 6, length is 4. In this case also perimeter into length. What we write now, pi dl. What is pi d? Pi d is nothing but the perimeter, 2 pi r, that is pi d, right? So it's 4 by 4 into 6, that is also 24. So these 2 are equal. So the first statement is correct. But they have mentioned, they are asking you to find out the false statements. Okay. Second, volume of P and volume of Q are equal. No. Volume of P and volume of Q are equal. They are not. Absolutely not. Why? Because if you see, volume means what? The volume means pi r square h, right? So an r square terms actually comes over here. So it's just like you can say also pi d square by 4 into h. So pi d, out of that you know what is pi d. You know what is pi d, right? Pi d is nothing but 6. Pi d is nothing but 6. Okay. By 4 pi d into d. That separate d you can get it from here. Pi d is equal to 6 pi d1. So d1 is equal to 6 by pi. 6 by pi into h. So pi d by 4 into d into h. I just broken it like that. Whatever be the value is actually. H means what? It's 4. So it's 36 by pi somehow coming. If we just check it over here, what will be the case? It's pi into d2 square, okay, by 4 into h. So in this case also, if I look at the same way, pi d by 4 into d into h. Pi d by 4 means what? If you are not understanding, please pause the video, rewind it once again, you will find everything. Pi d by 4, if I look at, what do you mean by pi d? It's 4. 4 by 4. That is pi d by 4 into d. So in this case, this is pi d2. So what is d2? That is 4 by pi into h. H is what in this case? Length, 6. So you can get it. So it's 24 by pi. This is 36 by pi. So of course, these are different. So of course, the volumes are not same. So you are getting it. It's false, right? And they have given you MCQ. So you don't have to also check the other 2 options. You can check, of course, the other 2 options. Volume of P is greater than that of Q. Yes, of Q. 36 by pi compared to 24 by pi. So of course, it's greater. Fine. The height of cylinder Q is greater than that of P. Yes, of course, that is correct. The height of cylinder Q is 6. The height of cylinder P is 4. So, of course, the height of cylinder Q is greater than that of P. So, the first statement you have got, that is B. Fine. I hope you have understood. If you have not understood, you know what to do. Just rewind it. एक बार देख लीजिए, पूरा का पूरा समझ में आ ही जाएगा. बढ़ते हैं हमारे आखिरी क्वेश्चन की तरफ. But before that, also let's talk about the syllabus. The syllabus that they have given is special aptitude, in which this basically comes, जो मैंने बताया, जो अभी मैं प्रॉब्लम करने जा रहा हूँ, that is mirroring के ऊपर ये प्रॉब्लम है. The next problem that I'm going to give, and I will give you also a very easy technique for mirroring, for solving any kind of problem on mirroring. What you have to do is just draw this figure on a piece of paper. Draw this figure, whatever is given, on a piece of paper, just like this. So you have got this particular set drawing. Okay. Just whatever be the question in which a mirror image are going to be found out, you just turn the page. You are still finding a very faint image of that thing, right? This is nothing but the mirror image. This is nothing but the mirror image, right? Get my point? Any figure of mirror image. ये जुगाड़ का टेक्निक है, समझ रहे हो तुम, ठीक है? So you can see the figure. So the answer image is just something like this. The answer image you can see over here. I'm just seeing it from here. Okay, no rule. In many books I've seen this is the rule. Lateral inversion. पता नहीं क्या क्या सब खतरनाक चीजें दिया हुआ रहता है. I never do like that. Okay. Ta-da! हो गया. ठीक है, fine. So this is also the answer image you can see. So the correct option out of the options you can see is C. Right. So I hope you have enjoyed the session. I have thoroughly discussed the syllabus, what to read, and also I have solved all the model questions which have been given by IIT Bombay. वहाँ पे जो model questions दिया हुआ था, वहाँ पे they have given only the answers, but they did not give you explanations for that. You can also find out the model questions, but they didn't give you the detailed explanation for that. So I've explained all the problems. I hope that you have enjoyed it. Please do like the video if you have enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments that whether you have enjoyed it or not, and subscribe to my channel if you are new to my channel for more videos like this, and just share this video with everyone, the other GATE aspirants, so that everyone can enjoy and get notified every time I'm coming with a session. This is Anirudh Roy signing off. Bye-bye. Thank you. Stay safe. Hope to see you everybody in my next video. Thank you.